Yeah, that's much better.
You are live.
All right.
Hey, we're live. This
Well,
is a good thing.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Next Wave Cruising, live from the Celebrity Beyond. We're happy to be out here in Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on a very sunny,
it's a beautiful day.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, we are actually moving right now, so that's always a good thing.
Well, it's better timing than the last few times we went live and waited
Right.
and waited for just the ropes to be undone.
I
and
know. So
they were always about a half hour behind.
We learned the
schedule.
trick. I had to call up the captain and get the exact time that we were going to be moving away. So
and
we
now
got
we are
it.
starting to go. So if you look over our shoulders, there's just a beautiful Fort Lauderdale harbor. We're going to turn around a little bit so that the bow of the ship can head out.
What a beautiful cruise this is going to be too. So
this is really nice.
We are headed down on the Eastern Caribbean.
That's right. So we have a few stops. One in Puerto Plata in Dominican Republic,
right.
St. Thomas, and one of your favorites, St. Martin.
Oh, I love St. Martin.
Right.
St. Martin has my favorite excursion of all time.
Oh, can you tell us what it is, or is it a secret?
That is sailing on the America's Cup.
Oh, like a race,
yachts,
right?
Yep.
They're yacht racing.
That is so much fun.
And how many times have you already done that?
I think I've done it 3 times.
3 times,
so.
but you're not over it yet.
Yeah, I could still do it again. But,
yeah, so we'll see what happens when we get down
there.
there.
I do it again this time.
Right.
You know, I didn't bring my shirt because I think if I bring my shirt from
the
the last
time,
oh
man.
You know, you always forget something packing, so I forgot.
Can you run home and get it?
Yeah, well, too late.
Too late now.
It's easier to buy one. You know?
That's right. But that was always a fun excursion for you, so maybe we'll get to do it again.
Yep.
And we have some sea days, so we're going to get to really enjoy the ship. And Celebrity Beyond, if you haven't read about it, you should.
Right.
It's the newest in the Edge class series of ships from Celebrity Cruises, and it is just a masterpiece, right? A work
really
of
is.
art, not a typical cruise ship by any means. The layout is very unique and innovative. And even on top of the Edge and the Apex, the first 2 ships in the class, this one has innovated again and stretched and leveraged the space that they had. They went up another deck higher. They went longer and wider.
And made the horn louder. Yeah.
The horn is much louder, so hopefully people can hear us over that horn. The Sunset Bar is now multi-level. It's fantastic. So we'll show you that this week.
A lot more room on that, which they really need. That's for sure.
But it reminds me of something much more exotic, like going to Morocco or someplace with the way that they designed it and the color scheme and the decor. It just doesn't seem like the aft of a cruise ship by any means.
Yep.
And then they stretched the pool deck, which is down a level from where we are, because they had more room that they were putting in the middle of the ship. So the pool deck, which was very nice, is even nicer.
It's larger, and they also took those poolside cabanas and they turned them around to face the pool. They used to face out
toward the magic carpet.
Right, and now they've turned them around. I think some people are going to really enjoy that. Some people might not, but that's what they did.
But we can report on that because I think on day 3 maybe of this trip, we have rented one of those outdoor cabana areas. So we're going to be spending some time there, and we can let you know how well they treat us, how comfortable it is, and what's exactly going on down by the pool deck, which will be fun. And we have a few other things planned, some of which is around specialty dining. So we'll have a lot of back on specialty dining on the Beyond. We're sailing in Aqua Class, which is one of your favorite things. Mm-hmm. And that gives you a specialty restaurant right off the bat.
It does, but we're going to do something
What choose it?
Oh, well, it's the blue, right? People know what blue is.
They don't always. Not everybody has sailed Aqua Class.
Well, that's what you get. So that's a nice restaurant because it's still considered main dining. However, it's much smaller than main dining.
Right. And
their selections are a little more refined, I guess, what you would call it.
Right. Well, they do the rotation. So you get the option for what is rotating through all of the restaurants that evening they offer. Mm-hmm. They offer their standard classics, like you can always get shrimp cocktail, you can always get escargot, you can always get a steak or chicken, whatever it is. They have 4 or 5 things that are standard entrees and standard appetizers.
Right.
But then they have a clean menu.
Right.
So they have some healthier choices, and as you said, more refined of a menu.
Right.
They're open for breakfast and for dinner, and only for people who are in Aqua Class. So it's a much smaller group. The wait staff and the crew really get to know you, and they're very, very generous and kind, and trip all over themselves to go get you what you need. And
we've always had a very good experience in the Blue restaurants across any of the celebrity ships.
Right, but that's not going to be our only restaurant this week.
No,
we have 4.
We're hitting a bunch this week.
We have 4 other restaurants that we're going to check out and report back on, some of which we've done, which are just absolute favorites, and we have to do again, including tonight at...
We're going to go to Eden tonight, which has to be my favorite.
So far.
It has to be my favorite specialty restaurant on any ship, and especially on the Edge class ship.
That's right. Now, it's right at the aft of the ship, and it takes up about 3 deck levels.
Right.
The restaurant is on the lowest of those, but then that wall of windows goes up multiple stories. It has an open air kitchen, so you can see what's being prepared for you. The food is very innovative and inventive, and the menu is anything but typical.
Oh, it's amazing.
But the food, when we've had it before, is delicious. Yeah. And then watching the sunset off the side of the back of the ship, just incredible. So we're going to kick off this cruise with a really special
and I'm really looking forward to their crab cakes.
Oh, you like those?
Because that is the best crab cake I ever had.
And you lived in Maryland.
And I lived in Maryland, and we went down to the Inner Harbor.
We did. Phillips was really famous.
Yep. So we went.
A bunch of other places.
But this, I tell you,
is better.
It's
and what
amazing.
else did you have? Like mulligatawny soup?
Yeah, I did. I had to have it. I had to try it, and it's good. I would order that again too. I'm going to see what else is on the menu.
We'll have to see what they have. I can't remember everything else, but whatever we ordered last year was phenomenal on the Apex. So let's see how they translate that here on the Beyond. But then we won't be done. We have several nights in blue, which we look forward to, but we'll intersperse 3 other specialty restaurants. Again, another rerun for us in terms of one we really liked and we want to do again is the Rooftop Garden Grill.
That's excellent.
Dinner under the stars.
You can't miss that. If you're going to be on Edge class ship, that is an amazing restaurant.
It really is, and it's so different in the sense that there's barbecue and steaks and kind of things that would remind you of a backyard barbecue, but at a very upscale level.
Oh, yeah.
And the seating is very nice. The location with the rooftop garden all around it, the artwork, the screen that's got whatever's going on, either movies or big games or music and
there was
visual
a soccer game
arts.
going on earlier today.
It's different every night that you go there. So that's a really, really good restaurant. And the food was surprisingly wonderful when we were there before.
It really
so
is.
we loved it.
Yep.
So that's a rerun. And then we have 2 new ones, 2 new for us, 1 new for this ship.
Right.
The one that's new for us that is on the other Edge class ships is the Fine Cut Steakhouse.
Right.
So that should be a really nice night, and it's a beautiful venue.
It is.
You'll have some video to show us.
I've already been in there looking around, and it is a really kind of a neat, especially like on the Edge class, because they have some seating that overlooks the Martini Bar.
Oh, that Grand Plaza.
And I, if you're there at the right time when they start with their act, allowed the portion of your dinner, but it certainly is going to be entertaining, and you have a perfect view.
And that chandelier show that you're talking about, the lighting from the Grand Plaza is really right outside the Fine Cut Steakhouse. So as the lights are changing and the show is going on, you have a bird's eye view.
You do.
You have a bird's eye view and a specialty restaurant on top of it.
It makes it easy to read the menu when those lights are going.
Oh, you'll like that. Not when they flash, though. You'll wonder what's going on. So we have that coming up. And then the other one is brand new to the fleet.
Right.
So far, it's only on this ship, the Celebrity Beyond. So, of course, we haven't been to this restaurant before.
And I've been looking to go on that ever since they first announced it.
And that is that there is a global culinary ambassador who works with Celebrity and helps curate the chef's table, a number of the dishes that are served in Lumine, the all-suite restaurant, and now has his own restaurant featured here on the ship called Le Voyage. And Le Voyage... Hi!
Hi there.
Le Voyage is right off of the Grand Plaza.
Right.
It has this kind of door that opens. It reminds me of Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Like, whoop, whoop, the way the door opens, you think you're on a spaceship or something. And you just go into this cocoon of a restaurant with these subtle colors, very, very beautiful and very refined. And all of the places you sit are kind of nested in there. And then the food is supposed to be just, Daniel Boulud's handpicked.
We already have his 40-pound book.
We do have that book because we went to the chef's table on Celebrity Equinox.
Right.
So we've had a fine dining experience in Murano based around his recipes, but now the whole restaurant is based on that. So that's going to be special.
If it even equals that dinner, it's going to be a fantastic dinner.
So I think that we'll eat our way around the ship, as I think somehow we always do.
Right.
And that doesn't even leave us time to go to the regular restaurants. There are 4 main dining rooms on this ship, not 1, which is a kind of cool concept among the Edge class ships. and they repeated that here.
I think it was a great idea what they did, because it really makes the restaurants, the main restaurants, almost feel like they're a specialty, because each one has their own special decor and unique menu.
That's right. Again, they'll feature some specials that rotate to all the restaurants every night. They have standards every night.
Right.
And then there is something, as you said, that is based on the cuisine of the theme for that restaurant.
Right.
There's a Tuscan restaurant, so you can imagine the Italian theme.
Right.
And that's built off the popularity of the Tuscan Grill, which is a specialty restaurant on the older classes of celebrity ships.
Right.
Here it's a main dining room, and it's beautiful.
It really is.
Then there's Normandy, which, as you can imagine, is French.
French.
And that's really based off of Murano, which is on the older classes of ships and really highlights some very fine French cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we've had some very nice dinners there as recently as last week.
That's right. Yep.
So that was great. There's Cosmopolitan, which is just like you're going into a upscale restaurant in any big city anywhere around the globe, and it just looks modern, and there's great wine selection there. And so that's another great option for people. And then the fourth one I really like is Cyprus. A little more Mediterranean spin on what they offer for their specialty dishes. And we have had some very nice meals there as well.
Right.
So I think we kind of not cheated, but we got a jump start on the dining experiences here by being on the ship last weekend.
Just last weekend, yeah.
And why were we here?
Well, we were so lucky that we had an opportunity to be on the Beyond for their Godmother naming ceremony.
That's right. So last weekend was the official naming of the Celebrity Beyond after she made her transatlantic voyage back from the Mediterranean. She had, been accepted out of the shipyard and then sailed over the summer in the Mediterranean and came back over to New York first, then did a trip down to Aruba and the islands down there, and then came back to Fort Lauderdale last weekend. And then there was this special couple of nights naming ceremony cruise.
Right.
And we were lucky enough to be part of that excitement and that very special celebration with our friends at Celebrity Cruises. So we had a chance to eat in Cosmopolitan and Normandy.
We did.
And so we'll be able to report on those when we do our food overview, but we won't repeat them this time because we have too many other options. We're
going to be way too busy.
And I'll be way too full.
Yeah.
I can't keep eating like this. this. And then that doesn't even say lunch. What about Raw on 5?
Well, that's a must-do stop for me.
Yep.
I love going here. And on the Edge class ships, the menu is good for us because Terry wants no part of
I want my food cooked.
Anything raw, no matter what deck it's on.
Yes,
and
not just on 5.
Right. So
cooked on 5 for me.
I mean, I can't even get her to eat vegetables sushi.
No, not so much.
So, but they do have menu items that you
I
like.
enjoyed. Yeah, they were delicious. So we'll do lunch there.
It does work out.
I have
very
a
well.
lunch back in Eden, which is a different restaurant.
Right.
They have a cafe in Eden for lunches, which is different than the evening restaurant. And they have a carving station, and they have salads and just a really nice array of fresh and very, kind of very green oriented, kind of healthy foods and some delicious cakes and desserts too.
It's nice because not a lot of people know about it until now. But so it's a little quieter. It's nice. It's a nice place for lunch.
And on Beyond, we have to give a shout out because the team down there, headed up by Marcos.
Oh my
gosh, and Robbie, and those guys are just
Marcos,
fantastic. And you'll want to get down to Eden and let them spoil you with everything that they've prepared for lunches as well as going down for dinner. So we'll make sure we make a stop there as well. And then we have so many other venues on the ship to explore. Now that we're going to be on for 7 nights instead of 2, we can spend some time in that cabana, as you talked about. We can see what we do off the ship when we get to our different port destinations. And then maybe just enjoy different parts of the ship. It's just the magic carpet is still a treat.
Oh, I love that
It's
place,
hanging out off of deck 14 now, set up as a bar.
Yeah, the elevator says, magic carpet, deck 14, everybody off the elevator.
Everybody get off. They want everybody to go to the magic carpet. And it's worth a stop.
Right.
And that's a very popular bar when it's set up that way, but it goes and becomes an extension of dining.
It does. It goes down to Raw on 5, and it is an extension. So that's a really nice place to have dinner.
And that is cantilevered off the edge of the ship. So you're not just on another kind of walkway. You are actually sort of outside the boundary of the ship.
Right.
It's gorgeous. And then they can use that all the way down on deck 2, of course, in Destination Gateway,
right,
to extend the tendering platform, which makes it so easy,
right,
and safer, I think, and less tricky, much more stable.
It is. It's
to
a
walk off
great
of
way
the
to
ship
tender.
and get onto
Yep.
a tender. And we did a little bit of that last week too. Even
Yeah, they
to get
gave us.
some
Yeah, they
photo
gave us.
opportunities
They gave us a
outside
little, a test run.
on the
And
tender.
where they just had people come on out and try it out and see how it works.
And it was easy.
Very easy.
It was really nice.
Yep.
So we enjoyed that. So we hope that other people are thinking about some of these nice new ships, whether it's the Celebrity ship. I know the Norwegian Prima just came back now to Florida and is sailing.
We just
from
passed
here.
the Princess, that one behind us. You saw that.
So everybody's getting their ships back into the Caribbean and to North America for the winter
for
season.
this season. This is going to be a big
season. And so there are lots of options, and
Right.
we're happy to help anybody figure out what the right option is for them.
Mhm.
But for us this week, it is definitely Celebrity Beyond.
Right.
And it is beyond belief. Well, how about the world-class bar? Do you think we'll have time to stop by there?
You know, I mean, if you really want a proper cocktail made by real mixologists, I do suggest the world-class
That's
bar.
worth a stop,
I mean,
isn't it?
you want to go to the Sunset Bar, you get great frozen drinks and things like that.
Yeah.
But if you want a
Cruise
real
cocktail.
cruise, you know, those are good for cruise cocktails. You want a nice old-fashioned, I suggest the world-class bar.
Really, really beautiful.
I think I'm
and
going
they
to
do
go
a great
there.
job. You're getting inspired now.
Yeah.
Well, we just have our sail away drinks,
These
so I've
are
got a bit of
couple
cheers,
of mojitos.
everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, and wishing everybody a good start to the holiday season. We're just about to get that underway
That's
here,
right.
and you can see that people are out celebrating with a cruise.
Yeah.
Lots of folks on the ship today.
Absolutely.
We'll have to get a count and report that back in one of our other videos. I did
Right.
not get the count when we were at the port today.
Yeah, we'll find out what it is. But I'll tell you, it's getting up there now. I mean, a year ago when we first started sailing,
Didn't you feel almost lonely?
it was it really was. There was no problem finding a spot on the pool deck. You know.
And here, thank goodness they expanded it. I think
Yes.
there's a lot of room and really cool seating areas, not just lounge
Right.
chairs at the pool, but
Right.
little sitting and discussion areas
Right.
that are all wrapped around that. And it's fantastic.
So
But
when
you could definitely see the difference in so many more people on the ship
There
a year,
is. But
a year
when you,
into
when
the
you
return.
look at the edge class, especially the Beyond, at its statistics and how large it is and how many people that it holds and even how many crew that are on
Right.
this ship. This is a pretty large ship for the low amount of passengers at full capacity. You know.
So there's just so much more space per person.
There really is.
And a very high crew ratio.
There is.
You notice
yes.
that compared to looking up some of the other ships that sail out of Port Everglades, and they're lovely and they do a great job, and yet you can see that they definitely hold more passengers,
Right.
and not in much bigger a ship than this. So
Right, they'll have another 1,500 passengers and maybe another 100 crew. So it
right on a
makes a
ship
difference.
that might be 60
It
feet
makes a
longer,
difference.
and this
Yeah.
one is just
So
really nicely laid out, so you do feel like you
It
have
is.
room. And even in the sail away, I feel like lots of room here to
we do.
enjoy being out on the water, which we are at
Which
this
all
point.
the way out now.
Look at that. So I can see Fort Lauderdale sort of behind us in the background. If we can turn the camera just a little bit, people may see the skyline out there.
Yeah.
And we're heading out, and it looks like the weather's going to really cooperate with us. So we're hopeful that that will be the way it stays for 7 nights.
It's going to be a wonderful 7 nights.
I think so. So we've had some interesting weather, though, for November, haven't we?
We
And it's
did.
Last week.
And it's, usually when we get to November, I say, well, we're pretty safe
Yeah.
as far as big storms go. But unfortunately, it's still in November. It's still hurricane season. And
We just had one hit Florida this
we
week.
just had another one hit. So remember that when you are booking your cruise,
But the good
that
news,
if you are,
yeah.
the good news is that usually it's a little less expensive because it's hurricane season. But the good news is that the ships always get out of the way. You might miss a port, but
We'll
you're still
go in a
gonna,
different order. They
you're
may
still
do it
gonna
the day
have
later
a
or
very
something.
safe cruise.
They do. And there were some ships this past week that rearranged the order of their itinerary stops, or maybe changed a few up,
Right.
and kept people in a very safe place and letting them really enjoy their cruise, rather than putting up with the way the weather would have maybe wrecked their cruise if
Right.
they had stayed on their original course.
Right.
And so this week we think we might be a week behind that. There's still some unformed
We might have a
but
rainy day,
scattered
but
showers and things that
Yeah.
look like they may be heavy down in the Eastern Caribbean, and certainly in the Southern Caribbean. They're getting a lot of rain right now.
Right.
So with November, the weather's not done with us just yet. We'll see.
So the one thing about leaving out of Fort Lauderdale is that it's a lot quicker getting out into the out of Miami. You get a real good chance to see a lot of the beautiful yachts and homes and everything. Over here, you have it, but it's much shorter.
For a couple of minutes,
yeah,
really.
It's much shorter.
So look how far out we are from the shore already when you look behind us.
Right.
And it's hard to give everybody a great view on the way out the way we usually can, looking at the causeway in Miami and the other cruise terminals, etc. Here, we were close enough to the exit channel that we just scooted right out. But it's good. We are underway, and you can see it's just a gorgeous day out here. So if anybody's interested in cruising, think about us here at Next Wave Cruising. We can help you figure out the absolute best cruise for you. And we'll be bringing more footage and video.
We're going to video the whole
trip of the week. So we'll have some stateroom tours, some tours, and some reflections on what works and what doesn't from our point of view and how we experience the ship and the destination.
See how well this internet works.
Well, I can't wait to see. That's been a tricky thing lately. So, and we're going to test some new phone capability, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
You invested in something new that we're going to try out when we're out of the country. See how that works. And this is probably our last sail away video for this year. We are cruising again next month, but I don't think there's going to be any way that we can go live.
Probably not.
A little too remote.
Yeah. So we'll try. Maybe we'll see.
So stay tuned to the channel. We'll talk more about where we're heading in December, because we've got one more amazing cruise coming up with a lot of great friends. We're looking forward to that so much. But for this week, it is Eastern Caribbean, Celebrity Beyond, brand new ship, fantastic crew, and so far, really great experience.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I hope you've enjoyed our little sail away out from Fort Lauderdale. And if you have, please give this video a nice thumbs up.
We appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. It is totally free.
It does help.
And it gives you an idea of what's happening when people like us are out cruising, doing things that are probably similar to what might be of interest to you. And we can give you feedback about what your next cruise could be like, making great vacation memories for you, your family, your friends group, whatever it might be. And we're happy to do that. So we'll keep in touch and we'll keep recording. Well, for now, we probably should get ready for dinner.
We have to get ready. Yep.
You got to go to Eden.
That's right. We got our bags. Yep.
It's our bags are in the stateroom. So off we go.
Bye for now.
To get changed. Have a great rest of the night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.